بآواز بلند صلوات.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. روحان فاطمة الزهراء سلام الله عليها أنها خالت دخل علي برسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم في بعض الأيام وقال لي يا فاطمة إني لا أجد في بدني ضعفا فقلت له أعوذك بالله يا أبت من الضعف وقال يا فاطمة ائتني بالكساء اليماني وغطيني به. قالت فاطمة سلام الله عليها فأتيته بالكساء وغطيته به وسرت أنظر إليه وإذا وجهه يطلع نورا كأنه البدر في ليلة تمامه وكماله. اللهم
صل على
محمد وآل محمد. قالت فاطمة سلام الله عليها فما كانت إلا ساعة وإذا بولدي الحسن قد أقبل وقال السلام عليك يا أمة. فقلت عليك السلام يا قرة عيني وثمرة فؤادي. وقال لي يا أمه إني أشم عندك رائحة طيبة كأنها رائحة جد رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله. فقلت نعم إن جدك نائم تحت الكساء. فأقبل الحسن نحو الكساء وقال السلام عليك يا جدا. السلام عليك يا رسول الله. أتأذن لي أن أدخل معك تحت هذا الكساء؟ وقال له نعم قد أذنت لك. ودخل الحسن عليه السلام معه تحت الكساء. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. قالت فاطمة سلام الله عليها فما كانت إلا ساعة وإذا بولدي الحسين عليه السلام قد أقبل. قال السلام عليك يا أمه. فقلت عليك السلام يا قرة عيني وثمرة فؤادي. وقال يا أمه إني أشم عندك رائحة طيبة كأنها رائحة جد رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله. وقلت نعم إن جدك وأخاك نائمان تحت هذا الكساء. فدنا الحسين عليه السلام نحو الكساء وقال السلام عليك يا جدا. السلام عليك يا من اختاره الله. أتأذن لي أن أكون معكم تحت هذا الكساء؟ وقال له نعم قد أذنت لك يا حسين. فدخل معهما الحسين تحت الكساء. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. قالت فاطمة عليه السلام فما كانت إلا ساعة وإذا بأبي الحسن علي عليه السلام قد أقبل. فقال السلام عليك يا بنت رسول الله. وقلت عليك السلام يا أمير المؤمنين. فقال يا فاطمة إني أشم عندك رائحة طيبة كأنها رائحة أخي وابن عمي رسول الله. وقلت نعم ها هو ما ولديك نائم تحت هذا الكساء. وأقبل علي عليه السلام نحو الكساء وقال السلام عليك يا من اختاره الله. أتأذن لي أن أدخل معكم تحت هذا الكساء؟ قال نعم قد أذنت لك. فدخل علي معهم تحت الكساء. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. قالت فاطمة سلام الله عليها ثم أقبلت نحو الكساء وقلت السلام عليك يا أبتا. السلام عليك يا رسول الله. أتأذن لي أن أدخل معكم تحت هذا الكساء؟ قال نعم قد أذنت لك. فدخلت معكم تحت الكساء. اللهم صل على محمد
وآل
محمد. قالت فاطمة فلما اكتملنا جميعا تحت الكساء قال الله اعلموا يا ملائكتي وسكان سماواتي وعزتي وجلالي إني ما خلقت سماء مبنية ولا أرضا مدية ولا خمرا منيرا ولا شمسا مضية ولا فلكا يدور ولا بحر يجري ولا فلك يسري إلا في محبته هؤلاء الخمسة الذين هم تحت الكساء. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. وقال جبريل عليه السلام يا رب من تحت الكساء؟ قال الله تعالى هم أهل بيت النبوة ومعدن الرسالة وهم فاطمة وأبوها وبعلها وبنوها. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. وقال جبريل يا رب أتأذن لي أن أهبط إلى الأرض لأكون معهم سادسا؟ فقال الله تعالى نعم قد أذنت لك. وهبط الأمين جبريل وأقبل نحو الكساء وقال السلام عليك يا رسول الله. السلام عليك يا من اختاره الله. إن الله عز وجل يقرئك السلام يقرئك بالتحية والإكرام ويقول لك وعزتي وجلالي إني ما خلقت سماء مبنية ولا أرضا مدية ولا خمرا منيرا ولا شمسا مضية ولا فلكا يدور ولا بحر يجري ولا فلكا يسري إلا لأجلكم ومحبتكم قد أذن لي أن أدخل معكم تحت هذا الكساء. وهل تعذر لي أنت يا رسول الله أن أدخل معكم؟ وقال قد أذنت لك. فدخل جبريل معهم تحت الكساء. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. وقال لهم إن الله عز وجل قد أوحى إليكم يقول إنما يريد الله ليذهب عنكم الرجس أهل البيت ويطهركم تطهيرا. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. وقال علي عليه السلام يا رسول الله أخبرني ما لجلوسنا هذا تحت الكساء من الفضل عند الله تعالى. وقال النبي والذي بعثني بالحق نبيا واصطفاني بالرسالة نجيا ما ذكر قبرنا هذا في محفل أهل الله وفيها جمع شيعتنا ومحبينا إلا ونزلت عليهم الرحمة وحفت به الملائكة واستغفرت لهم إلى أن يتفرقوا. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. وقال علي عليه السلام إذا والله فزنا وسعيدنا وكذلك شيعتنا فازوا وسعيدوا ورب الكعبة. وقال رسول الله والذي بعثني بالحق نبيا واصطفاني بالرسالة نجيا ما ذكر قبرنا هذا في محفل من محافل أهل الله وفيه جم شيعتنا وفيه مامون إلا وفرج الله هم إلهي ولا مغمون إلا وكشف الله هم إلهي ولا طالب حاجة إلا وقضى الله حاجة إلهي وقال علي إذا والله يفوزنا وسعيدنا وكذلك عشيتنا فازوا وسعيدوا في الدنيا والآخرة. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم إني أسألك بحق محمد وأنت المحمود، وبحق علي وأنت الأعلى، وبحق فاطمة وأنت فاطر السماوات والأرض، وبحق الحسن وأنت المحسن، وبحق الحسين أنت خديم الإحسان، وبحق الأئمة التسعة الطاهرين من ذرية الحسين عليهم السلام. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم.
ایک درود محمد والے محمد.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
فاتحہ.
بسم الله.
غنچہ دہن بیکاس دلہا ایسی بدن بیکاس دلہا مجرے کے لیے آئی ہے. اٹھو مجرے کے لیے آئی ہے. اٹھو ناشاد دلہن بیکاس دولہا. دنیا سے نہیں یہ شادی ہے، دونوں کی طرف بربادی ہے. شبیر کی بیٹی بیوہ دلہن، شبیر کی بیٹی بیوہ دلہن، اور ابن حسن بیکاس دلہا. یہ بے خبری مجھ سے خاصم چھلتے میرے پہنچے قاسم. کھلوا دو کہ الجھی جاتی ہے، کھلوا دو کہ الجھی جاتی ہے. کنگنے میرا سن بیکاس دولہا ہے. قوم مجھے ناراض نہ ہو، مرضی ہے کیا بولو میں ہاتھ میں اب
کنگنا رکھوں
میں ہاتھ میں اب
کنگنا رکھوں
یار
بےکس دولہا
ہم نام ہوں میں بھی دادی کی ہے تم کو قسم اس شادی کی بنوا دو مجھے بھی رونے کو بنوا دو مجھے بھی رونے کو ایک بیت الحسن بےکس تھا مجھ کو تمہارے گھر چلنا لازم تھا تمہیں مل کر چلنا رستے میں مجھ کو چھوڑ گئے رستے ہی میں مجھ کو چھوڑ گئے ہے دور وطن بےکس سب کہتے ہیں مجھ کو اب بیوہ بتلا مجھے یہ بات ہے کیا جو لوگ مجھے کو کہتے تھے جو لوگ مجھے کو کہتے تھے کل شب کی دلہن بےکس دولہا اے غنچہ دہن
اللہم صل علی محمد وآل محمد
زخمی جرن میں خاص میں گل پیرہن ہوا پیدا شہانہ جوڑے سے رنگ کفن ہوا باغ جنا رسول کو بیت الحزن ہوا اور فوج کی میں شاد ہر ایک
تیغ زن ہوا
اور فوج کی میں
میں شاد ہر ایک تیغ زن ہوا
غلطہ کے رون ڈالا ہے لشکر کے باغ کو ہاں غازیوں بجھا دو حسن کے چراغ
کو
ہاں غازیوں
بجھا دو حسن کے چراغ کو
گھبرا گئے یہ سن کے صدا سرور انام عباس سے نام ور سے یہ اس دم کیا کلام لو بھائی جنگ ہو چکی قصہ ہوا تمام آیا سوئے یتیم
حسن موت کا پیام
آیا سوئے یتیم
یتیم حسن موت کا پیام
ہم شکل مصطفیٰ کو بلا لو پکار کے مانگو دعا سروں سے امام
اتار کے
مانگو دعا سروں
سروں سے امام اتار
مانگو دعا سروں
سروں سے امام اتار کے
ایک ہے کہ قبلہ رو ہوئے سلطان کائنات، درگاہ کبریا میں دعا کی اٹھا کے ہاتھ، اے خالق زمینوں زماں رب پاک ذات، ان ظالموں کے ہاتھ سے
قاسم کو دے نجات،
ان ظالموں
کے ہاتھ سے قاسم کو دے
تو
نجات۔
حافظ جہاں ہے
کریم الرحیم ہے،
یا رب
بچائے سے کے
بچہ یتیم
ہے،
یا رب بچائے سے
کہ یہ بچہ یتیم ہے۔
نکلا یوسف کے منہ سے کہ ہے حسن کے لال، زینب نے اٹھ کے کھول دیے اپنے سر کے بال، سینے میں ہل گیا دلے بانو خشک سال، چلائی ماں گزر گیا کیا میرا
نونہار،
چلائی ماں
گزر گیا کیا میرا نونہار۔
عابد کا تپ گرم بدن سرد ہو گیا، قاسم کے چھوٹے بھائی کا منہ زرد
ہو گیا،
قاسم کے چھوٹے
بھائی کا منہ زرد ہو گیا۔
چلائی رو کے زوجے عباس نوجوان، یا رب ہے تو یتیم حسن کا نگاہ باں، سن کر یہ گل دلہن کے بھی آنسو روا، لے کر بلائے ساس
پکاری کہ میری جان،
لے کر بلائے
ساس پکاری کہ میری جان۔
خالق کرے گا رحم نہ آہو بکا کرو، دولہا پہ آ بنی ہے
میں صدقے دعا کرو،
دولہا پہ آ بنی ہے میں صدقے دعا کرو، اس اضطراب میں جو سنا ساس کا سخن، زانو سے سر اٹھا کے ہوئی قبلہ رو دلہن، آہستہ کیے عرض کے اے رب ظلمنا، دشمن پہ فتح یاب لختے
دل حسن،
دشمن پہ فتح یاب لختے
دل حسن،
لڑنے گئے ہیں تشنا دہن تیری راہ میں، رکھ میرے ابن ام کو تو اپنی پناہ میں، رکھ میرے ابن ام کو تو اپنی پناہ میں، یا رب دلہن بنے مجھے گزری نہ ایک شب، دلہا جو مر گیا تو مجھے کیا کہیں گے سب، اب تک تو شرم سے نہ ہلائے تھے میں نے لب، پر کیا کہوں کہ اب ہے میری روح
پر
پر کیا کہوں کہ اب ہے میری روح پر شبر کے آفتاب کا وقت غروب ہے، دولہا سے پہلے مجھ کو اٹھا لے تو خوب ہے، دولہا سے پہلے مجھ کو
اٹھا لے تو خوب،
دولہا سے پہلے
مجھ کو اٹھا لے تو خوب ہے۔
سہرے کے پھول بھی ابھی سوکھے نہیں ہے جو آ گیا پیام رنڈا پہ کیا الہ، یہ عقد تھا کہ موت تھی ماتم تھا یا کہ بیاہ، بعد اس کے ہوگا خلق میں
کیوں کر میرا نبا،
بعد اس کے ہوگا خلق میں
کیوں کر میرا نبا،
اٹھو جہاں سے دل برے
شبر کے سامنے عورت کی موت خوب ہے، شوہر کے سامنے عورت کی موت خوب ہے، شوہر کے سامنے عورت کی موت خوب ہے، شوہر کے سامنے
غش میں جھکا فرس پہ جو وہ غیرت خمر، مارا کسی نے فرق پہ ایک گرد تھان کر، بڑچھی لگی جو شیش کی، ٹکڑے ہوا جگر، گرتے تھے اسپ سے کہ کمر پر
لگا تبر،
گرتے تھے اسپ سے کہ کمر
پر لگا تبر،
تاریخ کی تیغ کھا کے پکارے امام کو،
فریاد یا حسین بچا لو غلام کو،
فریاد یا
حسین بچا لو غلام،
فریاد یا
حسین بچا لو غلام کو،
جھپٹے جو شاہ فوج پہ چمکا کے ذوالفقار، بجلی گری یزید کے لشکر پہ ایک بار، اس غیظ میں یمی سے جو آئے سوئے یسار، بھاگے پھرا کے گھوڑوں
کی باغوں کو سب سوار،
بھاگے پھرا کے
گھوڑوں کی باغوں کو سب سوار،
آگڑ میں خون سے رن کی زمین لال ہو گئی، دولہا کی لاش گھوڑوں سے
پامال ہو گئی،
دولہا کی لاش
گھوڑوں سے پامال ہو گئی،
دولہا کی لاش
گھوڑوں سے پامال ہو گئی،
دولہا کی لاش
گھوڑوں سے پامال ہو گئی،
بر محمد وآل محمد صلوات۔
اللہم صلی علی محمد وآل محمد۔
اللہم صلی علی محمد وآل
Please recite a loud salawat for the Sayyid to join. He should be joining in a minute or two. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farajah. Please recite a loud salawat for Sayyid Abbas Razavian. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farajah.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Salatu wassalam fil anbiya'i wal mursaleen. Sayyidina Maulana Abul Qasim Mustafa Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Wa ala ahli baytihi at-tayyibin at-tahirin. Wa la'natullah ala a'da'ihim ila qiyami yawmiddin. We're talking about Ziyarat Ashura, and that in this month, these 10 days, how important it is to do Ziyarat of Imam Hussein salam. And that for many of us that we don't have that tawfiq of visiting the shrine of Imam Hussein salam this year, or at least it's less. We at least have the tawfiq of reciting Ziyarat Ashura from afar. Once we do it from afar, we have the same reward, inshallah. And many people ask, they say, what about these majalis that we have this year? We connect as well as we used to connect before. And one of the answers we can give is, by the way we recite Ziyarat Ashura or other ziyarats, is that we are looking for a responsibility, we are looking for our the reward that Allah will give us, that will elevate us. And in the traditions, you know, when you do Ziyarat of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, and you do Ziyarat Ashura, it's as if you visit Imam Hussein, you're in the shrine of Imam Hussein. So we can say the saying, the musibat, reciting the musibat of Imam Hussein, the majlis of Imam Hussein, the reward of it is the same, regardless if you're in the Husseiniya, regardless if you're at home and you bring the Husseini house. This is still majlis of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. And you're looking for that reward, you're looking for those tears, you're looking for that ittisal, that connection to Imam Hussein alayhi salam. So we're going to read this line tonight, inshallah, and we're doing Ziyarat Ashura, the du'as inside Ziyarat Ashura. أن يرزقني طلب ثاري مع إمام هدى ظاهر ناطق منكم الحق منكم, and bestow upon me the chance to take my own vengeance with a leader of true guidance, which is Imam Mahdi, who is divinely sustained and expressing the truth from among you. So in this line, we see that there's rizq, provision to want vengeance for the killers of Imam Hussein. That this becomes tharisis or tharakum. This becomes your vengeance. We talked about this, that Ashura becomes your bala, Ashura becomes your calamity. That now you want to seek vengeance because it's yours. But who do you want to be with? Who do you want togetherness with? Seek vengeance with Imam Mahdi. This shows that the religion, the madhab of Islam and the Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam is a very live religion. That we don't just recite Ashura and say that Imam Hussein was martyred 1400 years ago. That we are carrying Ashura with us, and that Ashura is still in the making, that it was preserved by Lady Zainab sallallahu alayha, when she was the first person to recite Majlis for Imam Hussein alayhi salam, first person to recite the musibat of Imam Hussein, when she came to the ditch of Imam Hussein when he was martyred, and saw the holy body of Imam Hussein dismembered, covered with blood, saying, "Hada Husaynun murammalun bid-dima muqatta'ul a'dha," caused the enemies of God to start crying. The first reciter of the Noha or Masih Hussein was Lady Zainab, Imam Jad, Imam Baqir, later on with Khumayti, or you see Imam Ja'far Sadiq, the other Imams. So this is a process in the making of preserving and looking for an action, what to do now. Now that they have killed Imam Hussein alayhi salam, what is our responsibility? What should we do now? And that is that we seek revenge, vengeance, and we want the leader, our leader, Imam, to come back so to seek the revenge of Imam Hussein. But what is this revenge? Can you seek revenge? Because Yazid has been martyred. Yazid, astaghfirullah, has been killed. Imam Hussein has been martyred. So who are we going to seek revenge of? So we're going to talk about this inshallah tonight. There's an interesting book, and I recommend for you, brothers and sisters, to read. There's a book by the name of Makyalul Makarim by Sayyid Muhammad Musawi. In this book, we have the reasons why we pray for or we do dua for Imam Mahdi. He has a list from the alphabet from Alif, and he says, for example, Qaf, in the section of Qaf, he says, you should do dua for Imam Mahdi because he will be Qatilul Iblis. He will kill Iblis. He will kill Shaitan. Or in this section, the section of thought, is, from revenge. He has the chapter Revenge of the Blood of Imam alayhi, the martyrs of Karbala. He begins to mention what this means and why we should do Dua Mahdi for him to return. And as you know, this book, it's about 100 years old, and Sayyid Muhammad Taqi Musawi Asfahani has written in the beginning himself. He was a pious person, a scholar. He wrote in the beginning himself that he wanted to write this book, a dream of meeting Imam Mahdi. And the Imam wanted him this book. And it says there, and you can look at it's translated, the introduction, that the Imam gave it title, Mikyal al-Makara. The Holy Imam gave the book this title. So we know that this is a blessed book. So what does Sayyid Musawi Asfahani say in his book, Mikyal al-Makara? First, he says, look at, we have a verse of the Quran about this. وَمَنْ قُتِلَ مَظْلُومًا فَقَدْ جَعَلْنَا لِوَلِيِّهِ سُلْطَانًا فَلَا يُسْرِفْ فِي الْقَتْلِ. And whoever is killed unjustly, we have given him his heir authority, but let him not exceed limits in matter of taking life. So we see in the Quran, it is mentioned that when a person is killed madloom, the families, their heir, have to, if they want, execute that person. Of course, we know what the court system. But there is a bottom of this verse, and this is from Tafsir Ayashi, that in the bottom of this verse, the inner meaning of this verse, Imam Baqir alayhi salam says that here, Qutila madluman is Imam Hussein alayhi salam, and liwalihi sultanan is Imam Mahdi, that he will come back and he will avenge Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Tafsir Ayashi. So you see that some of the verses of the Quran, they have multiple meanings and layers. Some of the layers are, for the ahkam, for the laws. And at the same time, it's teaching you law, at the same time, because the Quran is deep and is multi-layered. So it'll teach you something of the realities of the universe. Look at Al-Kafi. There are multiple hadith that talk about Imam Mahdi being the person that revenges Hussein alayhi salam. Let's look at some of these hadith to understand this line, Ziyarat Ashura. When Imam Hussein alayhi salam was martyred, the angels come and they and they're wondering what has happened, how come Allah has allowed this? This is an Al-Kafi, and this is the sixth hadith. This is actually the hadith about when Imam Hussein alayhi salam was born, or about Imam Hussein in Al-Kafi. لما كان من أمر الحسين ما كان ضجة ملائكة إلى الله بالبكاء. ضجة, is to scream, to cry, very heavily. The angels came with crying, and they said, وقالت يفعل هذا بالحسين صفيك وابن نبيك. They did this to Imam Hussein, who was your ambassador, who was the son of your prophet. Then Allah shows them the angels. So Imam Hussein is martyred in Karbala, shows them this. قال فأقام الله لهم ظل المهدي. I changed the word so you don't have to stand up. So Allah shows him the shadow of Mahdi. Imam Mahdi hasn't been born yet. This is, 1400 years ago, the year 61 of Hijri. But he shows him the shadow of Imam Mahdi. And of course, as we know, our spirits were alive thousands of years before creation, but as long as, to be born physically in this world. وَقَالَ بِهَا, through him, أَنْتَقِمُ لِهَذَا, I will revenge him, Imam Hussein. With this, I will revenge this. With Imam Mahdi, I will revenge Imam Hussein alayhi salam. So we see that Imam Mahdi is the person that will revenge the martyrdom of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. And you see other traditions, for example, that about the companions in Bihar, the companions of Imam Mahdi, that their slogan is Ya la Tharat al-Hussein, which is about the revenge of Imam Hussein, getting the revenge, move mountains. They'll be able to move mountains if they want. They'll worship Allah at night. There'll be lions at day. But their slogan, the companions of Imam Mahdi, are Ya la Tharat al-Hussein. So if you want to be a companion of Imam Zaman, be the elite of Imam Zaman. If you want to be, for example, how Habib ibn Madahir was for Imam Salam was part of the Shurtan al-Khamis, you have to be part of that slogan, part of that movement, that Ashura is important for you. And we see today in this time period, when you look at narrations like this, and you compare it, I cannot say, and it's not right, it's not appropriate to fix a time for the Dhuhr of Imam Mahdi. It's not appropriate. But when you see these events that happen throughout the world, and you see, for example, it is unprecedented, the 20 million people or millions of people gather around to visit Imam Hussein Arba'i, and they have slogans, and they say these chants. So you see, at least if it's close, at least you can see how it'll be like when the Dhuhr is close, when the Dhuhr will happen, that they will be Husseini, and their slogans will be for Imam Hussein. Also, with the current situation with COVID-19, some people ask, the Dhuhr is close. Yes, there are hadith about Maut Yad and Maut al-Ahmar, the death, the white death, or the red death. There are hadith we have about this, or that the dying of fractions of humanity from sicknesses. But you can never, it's very difficult for you to say, this hadith is, say, coronavirus. This hadith is, because it's hard to do that tatbiq, to say this is that, to apply that. But we know in general, yes, there are hadith. It's not part of absolute, the certain signs, those 5 certain signs or of certain signs that have to happen. Those are something that the Dhuhr will not happen unless those happen. Those are signs. We have, tawatur and their hadith. They're multiple. But about the sickness, we have hadith, of course. But at least you can say this, you'll see kind of like how the environment will be like before the Dhuhr. That it shuts everything down. People will be from sickness. Possible, when there's sickness, there's poverty, war starts up. And a lot of politicians, to save face, because of their failures, say handling diseases, those try to start a war. So we see that this is the slogan of the companions of Imam Hussein, of Imam Mahdi Ajallahu Ta'ala Farajah. But the question that we have is this, is that how can they revenge? How can Imam Mahdi revenge the blood of Hussein alayhi salam? There are 3 abilities. One is, and some of these are in the hadith, is that Imam Mahdi will do justice with the descendants of Yazid. The descendants of Yazid from the Bani Umayyah, and that they will be killed. And this is supported by other hadith from Imam Rida alayhi salam that says, they ask, how they weren't part of the people that killed. Why are you giving the sin of the before to them? Hadith, it says, because they are satisfied with that action. They are, say, maybe proud of that action. And if you are sad or proud of an action, that action will belong to you. So this is one explanation, that the descendants of Yazid will come and they will be killed. 2 is that those that are on this Yazid with their hearts, and this is similar to that. There are groups that come and hate the Shia, they will hate the Ahlul Bayt. Some of the groups we had recently that were killing the Shia, which is a notorious event, but they didn't have slogans specifically against Imam Hussein, against Imam Ali, specifically. They're very evil people. But the people at the end of these people they have slogans and their chants and their calls will be against directly, just how the Imam Ali alayhi salam was cursed in the Minbar for 90 years about. So they will curse the Ahlul Bayt, and Imam Zaman will kill them because they are part of that group, because they have the same ideology. Another explanation, so that was the second. Another explanation is how will Imam Zaman revenge the blood of Imam Hussein alayhi salam is with the belief of Raj'a, or the return. The belief in Raj'a, the common opinion in our school is that it is from the Daruriyat, the common opinion, that if a person does not believe in the return of the Prophet of Islam, the Ahlul Bayt in general, that there's a Raj'a. Specifics, on the specifics, no, they don't say, the specifics have different hadith, but in general, that there is a return, that is min daruriyat al-madhhab, meaning that it is part of the essential beliefs. And if someone rejects it, they will not be a Shia anymore. So we have traditions that Imam, pure Imam, will have Raj'a. That the Prophet of Islam have hadith. We actually have hadith about Imam Hussein alayhi salam, that he is the person that will do the funeral processions for Imam Zaman, will be Imam salam. And you have the kingdom that you see from the Imams, that they will come back. And also you see there's other hadith about Ahsabul Kahf, say some of the companions of the Prophet, some of the companion Imams, that they'll do Rajat, and the pious will come back. But at the same time, we have hadith that the evil come back to, because Allah is just. This, the tradition, فَإِن لَمْ تَقِمْ عَنِ الظَّالِمِ فَأَنَا الظَّالِمِ. If I do not get revenge from the oppressor, then I am the oppressor. So they will be brought back, and in the best fashion, in the best way that it cools the heart of Lady Fatima Zahra salawatullah alayha, cools the heart of Lady Nab, they will be killed. And just how Imam Sajjad was happy when they brought the head of some of these people. They will put a smile on the face, inshallah, the Imam Hussein, inshallah. So therefore, we are looking tonight and to get practical life lessons. And that is the point, to become better, to become Husseini. We talked about we want to be Ma'al Hussein fi dunya wal akhirah, be with Imam Hussein with the dunya and the akhirah, and the hereafter. And we learned from Ziyar that we want to be, with Imam Mahdi in this line, that we want to seek revenge with Imam Mahdi, and he will lead, and he will lead, the masses. So what can we do so that we can be a good follower of Imam Mahdi? What can we do, and what is our duty during right now, the occultation of Imam Mahdi? We don't just want to do Rawda of the Ahlul Bayt, cry that we go home and Imam Zaman is still in occultation, and we don't think of the son of Fatima Zahra salawatullah alayhi, that he is in occultation. In occultation is something that is a pain for us and Imam Zaman, because he sees the injustices, he sees what's going on to the world, he sees the Shias, what's happening, and he is not allowed directly to evolve, but he is indirectly. So the first step for us is for us to align our minds and our attentions with Imam Mahdi and his government and his revolution, because he is the Imam of our age. And we see that what is important for Imam Mahdi now is important for us. What are the goals of the Mahdawi government? One is social justice, that there is no dhulm, there's traditions. There will be such dhulm and oppression won't exist more. Even something that today we don't even call dhulm, something very, very weak, like that it does bother some, that you wake your sleep. If you, maybe if you consider this, then you'd say babies are doing dhulm every night to their mothers. But today we don't really call it dhulm. It's a blessing to take care of kids. to wake for some to be wakened in their sleep, or at least say imagine you just shake them, or that won't even happen. That won't even happen. That the animal kingdom, even this tradition, the animal kingdom won't hide. They won't hide anymore, from humans at least. They won't sting or bite. There will be no more dhulm. And of course, the worst dhulm that we see are humans. Humans oppressing others because of their skin color. Humans oppressing others because of their culture, nationality. So there won't be any more dhulm. So brothers and sisters, the more you fight against oppression, the more you fight against racism, the more you fight against wrong and things that are just wrong, then the more you're aligned with Imam Mahdi, because he has the responsibility of fulfilling justice in this world. You have taken some of that heavy burden from the shoulders of Imam Mahdi and have helped him out. So what is another Imam Mahdi? Knowledge. Knowledge before him will be, say, a few letters. When he comes, he will give the entire alphabet in knowledge. So when you help and educate people, when you, any way or form, you educate your children, you educate your community, you educate yourself, you're helping Imam Mahdi. Of course, it's important for us to put these intentions that I'm doing this for Imam Zaman. So when you look at another goal, and this is the Quran actually, in verses in the Holy Quran that talk about the the very beautiful verse of the Holy Quran at 24:55, if you want to write this down. 24:55. Wa'adallahu, Imam Zaman in the Quran, there are over 100 verses of the Holy Quran that apply to Imam Mahdi. I had discussions on Mahdism. I had a class on Fridays. We had it and we put it on Fridays because that was the day for that we can specifically remember Mahdi. It took about 1 year and we did about 50 lessons Mahdawiyya, about a 4-volume book. And it's still available if anybody wants them. وَأَدَلُّ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا مِنْكُمْ وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ. Allah has promised those who have believed among you and done right. What is the promise of Allah? 24:55. لِيَسْتَخْلِفَنَّهُمْ فِي الْأَرْضِ كَمَا اسْتَخْلَفَ الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِهِمْ. That He will grant them succession to authority upon the earth, just as He granted it to those for Him. So He will grant them succession. And the tradition said this is about Imam Mahdi, this verse of Quran. يُمَكِّنَنَّ لَهُمْ دِينَهُمْ الَّذِي ارْتَضَى لَهُمْ. And that He will surely establish for them their religion. Allah will establish religion which He has preferred for them. وَلِيُبَدِّلَنَّهُمْ مِنْ بَعْدِ خَوْفِهِمْ أَمْنًا. And that He will surely substitute for them after security. Once I said this, especially with all the protests and all the injustices that we see, I said, the Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam, they themselves tasted oppression more than anybody else. Once a person came to Imam Ali alayhi salam and said, I'm oppressed. And Imam Ali in the tradition says, as many as these little rocks, these pebbles that you see, I'm as oppressed as these tiny pebbles. How many of them see? You're talking about the of oppressed. You're talking Imam Hussein that was beheaded. Children of Imam Hussein, some of them were dismembered, their body parts, so they understand oppression. So therefore, when these things, when you see dhulm and stepping on people's necks, shooting them in the back, and multiple, killing people at their own home just because of their skin color, you see that the Ahlul Bayt are very sensitive to this. They have suffered dhulm themselves. When someone has suffered something, they're very sensitive. So the Ahlul Bayt are very careful about dhulm. Allah is He is al-adil. So these things that we see that that we're talking about, وَلِيُبَدِّلَنَّهُمْ مِنْ بَعْدِ خَوْفِهِمْ أَمْنًا. Then after their fear, people will be given security. Please recite salawat ala Muhammad wa ali. That fear that they had, after that oppression that happened, the fact that you're afraid, someone might not give you a job because of your skin color, the fact that they might pick on you and your child, that is all dhulm. And all that fear will be gone in the government of Imam Mahdi. And then it says the entire purpose of all of this, the government, يَعْبُدُونَنِي لَا يُشْرِكُونَ بِي شَيْئًا. Worship me, not associate anything, to become muwahid, to become monotheist. So if the goal of the government is monotheism, and you become a monotheist, a true monotheist, and your children become true monotheists, then you have helped Imam Mahdi out. So it's about understanding that there are goals that Imam Mahdi has and helping him in those goals, and understanding that when you take the situation in a way that you, as communities, as nations, as people, come together and you think tanks, you come together and think, what can we do so Imam Zaman comes back? As Sheikh Khaja Nasina Tusi says, Ayyibatuhu anna wujuduhu lutf. His existence is lutf, is a grace. Wa tasarrufuhu lutfun akhar. And the tasarruf and the walayat that he has over material things in this world is another lutf. But his occultation is from us, that we have not organized, we don't have a plan. And, for the reasons that inshallah we can maybe later talk about, Imam Zaman has not come back. So the first thing is aligning our minds with Imam Mahdi. The second thing is aligning our hearts with Imam Mahdi, to understand that Imam Mahdi is watching over us. He is informed about us. It gets some of the tradition, Jajaj. فَإِنْ حِيتُ عِلْمًا بِأَنْبَاءَكُمْ وَيَعْزُبُ عَنَّا شَيْءٌ مِّنْ أَخْبَارِكُمْ. We are surely the knowledge is encompassed from your affairs. We know what happens to you directly, specifically. You're not alone. Imam Mahdi is being informed. وَلَا يَعْزُبُ عَنَّا شَيْءٌ مِّنْ أَخْبَارِكُمْ. Nothing from the events that are happening to you is not hidden from us, is not separated from us. So Imam Mahdi is informed about us. So what does that make us in our hearts? That he is watching, that we are not separated from him. We think we're separated from him, but we're not separated from him. Inna, another hadith, inna ghayru muhmilina limura'atikum. So we are watching over you. We're not heedless in watching over you. We are watching over you. وَلَا نَاسِينَ لَذِكْرِكُمْ. We don't forget your remembrance. We don't forget about. These are traditions. قَالَ مَوْلَانَا الْمَهْدِي. اللهم صل على محمد وآله. The other tradition, قَالَ الْمَهْدِي. These are traditions from Imam Mahdi. وَلَا نَاسِينَ لَذِكْرِكُمْ. And then it says, if it was like this, what would happen? So we understand we have an Imam, we have a Mawla, we have a master that is protecting over us. As they say, in some of the poetry, that you tell the wolves to beware, that these flock sheep, has a shepherd. Our shepherd is Imam Mahdi, and he will protect us. So this is what we are talking about aligning ourselves with Imam Mahdi, Ajallah Ta'ala, aligning our hearts with him, and understanding that we need to collectively think about and raise our awareness, what to do, how to bring Imam Mahdi back. At the end, I'm going to share a short story, inshallah, and we'll end tonight's Majlis. One of the people that was in love with Imam in the history books, in the books of Hadith, and it was around the time of the minor Ghaibat, was a name by the person of Ali ibn Mahziyar, or Ali ibn Ibrahim Mahziyar. He wanted to see Imam Zaman. 19 years he went to Hajj to see Imam Hassan, to see Imam, the son of Imam Hassan Askari alayhi salam. So what happened is that we have Hadith Tamam al-Hajj Liqa'u al-Imam. the completion of Hajj is seeing your Imam. That when the Imams were alive, people would do Hajj. Then the Imams were in Medina, they would come and visit, and their Hajj would be complete. So, this is spiritual, of course. It's not the Sha'arat al-Hajj, but it is spiritual. So he wanted his Hajj to be complete 19 times. So 19 years. He went to Hajj with this reason. Now Hajj is good to go to, but he wanted it to be complete with. So in the last year, he gets that tawfiq. He knows that something's going to happen. Even though he didn't want to go, he gave up almost. And he sees, to make this story shorter, this is, written in the hadith books, he sees a representative of Imam Mahdi. And he's in Masjid al-Haram. And he says, Ma alladhi turidu ya Abul Hasan. It's Ali ibn Ibrahim al-Mahziyad. The person asks him, what do you need? He says, I want al-Imam mahjub al-alam. I want the Imam that is hidden from the world. Then this representative of Imam Mahdi corrects him. ما هو محجوب عنكم ولكن حبوس أعمالكم. He is not hidden from you. Imam Mahdi is not hidden from you. ولكن حجبه. What has caused you to hide, or the caused curtains, are the evil actions that you have. You are hiding from Imam, is not hiding from you. It's like our relationship with Allah. If you have a qalb as-salim, intact heart, your heart sees, your heart witnesses. But if that heart is full of sin, full of the world, the heart will not function anymore. It won't be able to witness God. Look at study about the heart in the Quran, qalb or fu'ad or sadr, these terminologies in the Quran. So finally, the person agrees and takes him in, and he's, to make the short story, finally he meets the Imam. And it's very important to say stories like this in detail, because detail is what people, attach to cling on to. You can't always say things. Be very specific, So we read the story specifically. He gives him permission. He comes and they, go to a little journey, and he meets the Imam. And then he comes and he kisses the hands and feet of the Imam. He kisses the hands and the feet of the Imam and says, فَقَالَ لِي يَا أَبَا الْحَسَنِ كُنَّا نَتَوَقَّعُكَ لَيْلًا وَنَهَارًا. We were waiting for you day and night. 19 years he wanted to meet Imam Zaman, but our Imam says to him that we were waiting for you day and night. We were waiting for you. فَمَا الَّذِي أَبْتَأَ بِكَ عَلَيْنَا. Why did you come late? What made you come late? So he's baffled. He says, wait a minute, 9 years I was trying to see you. You say you were waiting for me? He says, Sayyidi, so he thinks of an excuse. لَمْ أَجِدْ مَنْ يُدُلُّنِي إِلَى الْآن. I don't have someone that could bring me and guide me towards you. I didn't have a guide. I didn't know where you were. So the Imam says, قال لي لم نجد أحدا يدلني. And then the Imam says, to him, ثم قال لا. That's not the reason. And he gives him 3 pieces of it. We'll end with these. This is why you cannot see me. لا ولنكم كثرتهم الأموال. No, the reason why you didn't come earlier, as we said, that heart. All our actions reside in the heart. The actions that we perform, it resides in there. One, you were busy gathering money. You're so busy working, making, your bank account, or he didn't have a bank account, but we're just looking at our stocks, looking at our bank account and gathering money. So it says, one, you're busy gathering money. وَلَكِنَّكُمْ كَثَرْتُكُمْ. Doesn't mean that, getting money is bad for any reason. But, has this haqq and huquq? The poor have a right to it. And you cannot cause you to stray away from the remembrance of God. وَتَجَبَرْتُمْ عَلَى ضُعَفَاءِ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. And that you behaved proudly with the poor and the weak. See this today. It's from a different nationality, from another country, or they're poor. We don't want to sit with them. We don't want to give them a friendship. So you behaved with the mu'mineen, the weak, the du'afa, the weak, and the poor. وَقَطَعْتُهُمُ الرَّحْمَ الَّذِي بَيْنَكُمْ. You broke relations with your new one. فَأَيُّ عُذْرٍ لَكُمْ الْآنَ. What about now? What's your excuse? He says, Tawbah. So Ali ibn Ibrahim al-Mahsiyar, he stays with them few nights. The Imam gives them some of the occurrences of the future about Raja. He gives them, money that he was going to give for Khoms, and then Ali ibn Ibrahim departs. So from this story, we see that our connection to Imam Mahdi, our spiritual connection, depends on our actions. And the better our actions are, the better heart we'll see, and the better you'll have a qalb as-salim, and the better chance we can meet Imam Zaman. But the more that our hearts are full of sin, the more that our actions are full of sin, the more dhulm we do, then we will be separated from Imam Zaman. So inshallah we will meet our holy Imam, and that Allah can help us in speeding up and expediting the return of Imam Zaman. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. I'm going to mention today some of the musibat. When we look at the caravan of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, we see that there's a wide range of soldiers that Imam Hussein alayhi salam had. We see that there's a wide range. Some are like Habib ibn Madahir that are 7 years old. Some are like Qasim ibn al-Hassan. They say he didn't even taklif yet. He didn't reach the age of taklif. Some say he was 14 years old. Some say maybe younger. So we see that there's no age limit when it comes to Imam Hussein, and these were pure martyrs for Imam Hussein alayhi salam. When Imam Hussein, at the night of Ashura, talks to his companions, informs them of their mom. That night Imam Hussein turns off, the lights so that whoever wants to leave. Qasim ibn al-Hassan says something very interesting. He says, will I also be among the martyrs? His one uncle, will I be part of the shuhada? Hussein ibn Ali alayhi salam says, how do you see death? He tests him. He says, how do you see death? Qasim says, oh uncle, death to me is sweeter than honey. Who were these companions? Death for them in meeting Allah is sweeter than honey. So on the day of Ashura, it's written, they're narrators, they're people watching, observing. We have Tariq Tabari here. It says, Kharaja ilayna ghulamun. Ghulam means a young lad, someone very young. Ka'anna wajhahu shiqqatu qamar. As if his face was the first splinter of the new Qasim ibn al-Hassan. He is the remembrance of Imam Hassan. This is called Imam Hassan. Just when you mention his name, the madhlumiyat comes. A deep amount of madhlumiyat and oppression comes. Someone that wasn't even safe at home from his wife. Someone whose body was showered with arrows. And they did not bury him next to the Prophet of Islam. And then he gave this madhlumiyat to his two sons, Qasim and Abdullah. When you read from Tariq Tabari, it says he carried a sword. The narrator says he carried a sword. He was wearing a shirt because armor didn't fit him. The armor is made out of steel or different items. It's made for adults. He didn't have armor. He had a shirt and a waistcloth and izar, a pair of sandals. Qasim ibn Hassan comes. There they strike. The battle begins. They strike Qasim ibn Hassan, and it's Nufayl ibn Azdi or Asadi comes and strikes him. So he rushes him and he did not turn back. He struck him with his sword and he hit him in his head and split his head. The young lad fell face forward, fell downwards, and he called out, Ya Amma, oh uncle. Ahmed Hussein alayhi salam, Fajalla al-Hussein alayhi salam, kama yujallis saqa. Just like how a hawk comes, Hussein ibn Ali came to save the remembrance, to see the remembrance of his brother Imam Hassan. He launched an attack like a raging lion. He struck Umar ibn Sa'd ibn Nawfal with his sword. The man tried to fend it off, but he lost his arm was cut. A great shriek of pain came. Al-Hussein alayhi salam turned away from him. The cavalry of Kufa in order to save him. But they say the dust of the horses that began to settle, and the dust was gone. They say Qasim ibn Hassan on the ground, his legs, he is giving his life. So Imam Hussein alayhi salam is standing by the head of this young lad, looking at his feet. Hussein was saying, may the people who have caused your death perish, for the one who will oppose them on the day of resurrection, your behalf with your grandfather. Then he says this sentence that is echoed throughout the world. ثم قال عز وجل ثم قال عزيز عز والله على عمك أن تدعوه فلا يجيب. It is difficult for your uncle. You are the yatim, your orphans. I raised you. It is difficult for your uncle, for you to call him and cannot answer you. أو يجيبك ثم لا ينفعك الصوت. Or rather, he answered, but your cry was too late and he cannot help you. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Hussein alayhi salam.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. Oh, Uncle's shining moon, let me look one more time. Let me look at your eyes. Let me look at your face. Pride and joy of Hassan. See how your uncle cries. See how your uncle cries. Qasim, amana of your mother. Qasim, amana of my brother. Qasim, amana of the Rasul. Qasim, amana of Allah. Qasim, 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 Shaheed. 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 Oh, the joy of my heart, of Hassan you are part. How your uncle loves you. How can I let you go? In my care you should grow. God, you're only a child. God, you're only a child. Qasim, memory of my brother. Qasim, last hope of your mother. Qasim, handsome like no other. Qasim, how can uncle see you go? Qasim, 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 Shaheed. 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 Oh, my little Qasim, how your uncle did wish to see you grow into youth, see you married one day, hold your children and pray. Karbala killed my wish, Karbala killed my wish. Qasim, so full of youth and life, my Qasim. It shouldn't be a child's life, Qasim. How can I stand here, watch all Qasim? Soldiers killing my child, oh Qasim. Qasim, 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 Shaheed. 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 Curses to the one who lays in wait to kill my Qasim, oh my nephew. Curses to the one who lays in wait to kill my Qasim, oh my nephew. May my two eyes go blind, but do not let me see any harm come to you. Any harm come to you, Qasim. Horses are galloping, where is Qasim? Uncle's running, screaming, Qasim. Suddenly the dust dies down, Qasim. Pieces and pieces scattered, Qasim. Qasim, 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 Shaheed. 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 قاسم 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 شهيد اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein. دشت میں ابن حسن پر وقت کیسا گیا دشت میں ابن حسن پر وقت کیسا گیا دشت میں ابن حسن پر وقت کیسا گیا ایک گٹھڑی میں فقط ایک گٹھڑی میں فقط قاسم کا لاشا آ گیا دشت میں ابن حسن پر وقت کیسا گیا دشت میں ابن حسن پر وقت کیسا گیا چار کاندھوں پر جنازہ گھر میں آتا ہے مگر چار کاندھوں پر جنازہ گھر میں آتا ہے مگر ایک ہی کاندھے پہ یہ کس کا جنازہ گیا دشت میں ابن حسن پر وقت کیسا گیا دشت میں ابن حسن پر وقت کیسا گیا جس طرح چنتا ہے مالی پھول اپنے باغ کے جس طرح چنتا ہے مالی پھول اپنے باغ کے ٹکڑے یوں قاسم کے چننے میرا مولا گیا دشت میں ابن حسن پر وقت کیسا گیا دشت میں ابن حسن پر وقت کیسا گیا چوم کر تعویذ سرور تیرے قطروتے رہے چوم کر تعویذ سرور تیرے قطروتے رہے بھائی کے لفظوں میں جانے یاد کیا کیا گیا دشت میں ابن حسن پر وقت کیسا گیا دشت میں ابن حسن پر وقت کیسا گیا آ گئی بارات رن سے روک فضا نے کہا آ گئی بارات رن سے روک فضا نے کہا بیویوں تعظیم کوٹ جاؤ دولہا آ گیا وقت دشت میں ابن حسن پر وقت کیسا گیا دشت میں ابن حسن پر وقت کیسا گیا لاش کو ترتیب جب دینے لگا زہرا کلا لاش کو ترتیب جب دینے لگا زہرا کلا بارہا مولا کی آنکھوں میں اندھیرا آ گیا دشت میں ابن حسن پر وقت کیسا گیا دشت میں ابن حسن پر وقت کیسا گیا باپ کا تعویذ تھا بیٹے کے بازو پر بندھا باپ کا تعویذ تھا بیٹے کے بازو پر بندھا اس لیے پہچان میں قاسم کا لاش آ گیا دشت میں ابن حسن پر وقت کیسا گیا دشت میں ابن حسن پر وقت کیسا گیا ماتمی کے گھر میں اکبر جب کوئی دولہا بنا ماتمی کے گھر میں اکبر جب کوئی دولہا بنا یاد سب کو کربلا والے کا صحرا آ گیا دشت میں ابن حسن پر وقت کیسا گیا دشت میں ابن حسن پر وقت کیسا گیا اللہم صلی علی محمد وآل محمد
اور محمد وآل محمد صلوات
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. We read Ziyarat Ashura from far, Qurbatan ilallah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah. Assalamu alayka ya ibn Rasulullah. السلام عليك يا ابن أمير المؤمنين وابن سيد الوصيين. السلام عليك يا ابن فاطمة سيدة النساء العالمين. السلام عليك يا زهر الله وابن زهره والبتر المعطور. السلام عليك وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك. عليك مني جميعا سلام الله أبدا. سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار. يا أبا عبد الله لقد عظمت الرزية وجلت وحزمت المصيبة بك وعلينا وعلى جميع أهل الإسلام. وجلت وعظمت مصيبتك في السماوات على جميع أهل السماوات. ولعن الله أمة أسست أساس الظلم والجور عليكم أهل البيت. ولعن الله أمة دفعتكم عن مقامكم وأزالتكم عن مراتبكم التي رتبكم الله فيها. ولعن الله أمة خذلتكم. ولعن الله الممهدين لهم بالتمكين من قتالكم. بريت إلى الله وإليكم منهم ومن أشيائهم وأتباعهم وأوليائهم. يا أبا عبد الله إني سلم لمن سالمكم وحرب لمن حاربكم إلى يوم القيامة. ولعن الله على زياد وعلى مروان. ولعن الله بني أمية قاتبة. ولعن الله ابن مرجان. ولعن الله عمر بن سعد. ولعن الله شمرة. ولعن الله أمة أسرجت وألجمت وتنقبت لقتالك. بأبي أنت وأمي لقد أزم مصابي بك. فحسن الله الذي أكرم مقامك وأكرمني بك أن يرزقني طلب سارك مع إمام منصور من أهل بيت محمد صلى الله عليه وآله. اللهم اجعلني عندك وجيها بالحسين عليه السلام في الدنيا والآخرة. يا أبا عبد الله إني أتقرب إلى الله وإلى رسوله وإلى الأمير المؤمنين وإلى فاطمة وإلى الحسن وإليك بموالاتك وبالبراءة ممن خاتلك ونصب لك الحرب وبالبراءة ممن أسس أساس الظلم والجور عليكم وابرأ إلى الله وإلى رسوله ممن أسس أساس ذلك وبنى علي بنيانه وجرى في ظلمه وجوره عليكم وعلى أشيائكم. برئت إلى الله وإليكم منهم وتقربوا إلى الله ثم إليكم وموالاتكم وموالاة وليكم وبالبراءة من أعدائكم والناصبين لكم الأرض وبالبراءة من أشيائهم وأتباعهم. إني سلم لمن سالمكم وحرب لمن حاربكم وولي لمن والاكم وعدو لمن عاداكم. فاسأل الله الذي أكرمني بمعرفتكم ومعرفة أوليائكم ورزقني البراءة من أعدائكم أن يجعلني معكم في الدنيا والآخرة وأن يثبت لي عندك خدم صدق في الدنيا والآخرة وأسأله أن يبلغني المقام المحمود لكم عند الله وأن يرزقني طلب صارم إمام هدى ظاهر ناطق بالحق منكم وأسأل الله بحقكم وبالشان الذي لكم عنده أن يؤتيني بمصاب بكم أفضل ما يؤتي مصابا بمصيبته مصيبتي مصيبة ما أعظمها وأعظمها ورزيتها في الإسلام وفي جميع السماوات والأرض. اللهم اجعلني في مقامي هذا ممن تناله منك صلوات ورحمة ومغفرة. اللهم اجعل محياي محيا محمد وآل محمد ومماتي ممات محمد وآل محمد. اللهم إن هذا يوم تبركت به بنو أمية وابن عاقلة الأكباد اللعين ابن اللعين ولا لسانك ولسان نبيك صلى الله عليه وآله في كل موطن وموقف وخفف فيه نبيك صلى الله عليه وآله. اللهم لنا أبا سفيان ومعاوية ويزيد بن معاوية عليهم منك اللعنة أحمد العابدين. وهذا يوم فرحت به آل زياد وآل مروان بقتلهم الحسين صلوات الله عليه. اللهم فزعف عليهم اللعن منك والعذاب الأليم. اللهم إني أتقرب إليك في هذا اليوم وفي موقفي هذا وأيام حياتي بالبراءة منهم واللعنة عليهم وبالموالاة لنبيك وآل نبيك عليه وعليهم السلام. اللهم لعن أول ظالم ظلم حق محمد وآل محمد وآخر تابع له ولا ذلك. اللهم لعن الإصابة التي جاهدت الحسين وشايعت وبايعت وتابعت على قتله. اللهم عنهم جميعا. السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك. عليك مني سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار ولا جعله الله آخر العهد مني لزيارتكم. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين. اللهم خص عن أول ظالم باللعن مني وابدأ به أول ثم اللعن الثاني والثالث والرابع. اللهم لن يزيد خامسا ولن عبيد الله بن زياد وابن مرجانة وعمر بن سعد وشمرا وآل أبي سفيان وآل زياد وآل مروان إلى يوم القيامة. Let's go in sujood. اللهم لك الحمد حمد الشاكرين لك على مصابه. الحمد لله على عظيم رضيتي. اللهم ارزقني شفاعة الحسين يوم الورود وثبت لي خدمة صدق عندك مع الحسين وأصحاب الحسين الذين بذلوا مهجهم دون الحسين عليه السلام. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم كن وليك الحجة بن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آله في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنوا زكاته وتمتعوا فيها طويلا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم صل على محمد. Please recite Surah Fatiha for all the mu'mineens who are not in this world with us tonight. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad.
Thank you so much for joining us today for the Majlis. We will have a Majlis tomorrow sharp at 7 p.m. On the same channel. Thank you so much. Khuda Hafiz.